Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and salam. Welcome again to MACFEST 2026. My name is Echo, and I welcome you from England, Oman, and France. We would love to know where you are watching us from, so say hello in the chat. Let us know where you are. Also, you can share your thoughts and questions in the chat for us or in the Q&A portal. We'd love to connect and we'll try and answer all your questions. MACFEST welcomes donations through our website as little as £1 to keep offering this wonderful event for free. And if you'd like to watch today's event again or any other event, we record most of them and add to MACFEST YouTube channel. So our event today, I celebrate the art of photography, which is also one of the 4 categories in MACFEST Muslim Arts Award. It is an art award competition, which we were running this year. The submission process this year for the awards opened on 1st of April, and all UK-based Muslim artists are invited to submit artworks in any of the 4 categories: painting, drawing, calligraphy, and photography. So details on MACFEST website. And deadline for submission for art awards is 15th of June. And this year, for the first time, we opened booking for just 20 people on 29th of November for the awards ceremony, a live event where the winners will be revealed. It's at Manchester Hall, a truly prestigious event. Only 20 tickets are available to book on Eventbrite. So our host for today is Max Jabuski, the head of exhibitions at Open Eye Gallery in Liverpool, UK. Together with Victoria Bevikina, he co-founded Ukrainian Photographies, a platform dedicated to international research on Ukrainian photography. And Max also curated the home program for Eurofestival 2023 in Liverpool City region, as well as exhibitions at Breda Photo Festival, Still Centre for Photography in Edinburgh, and the UK Parliament in London. He holds an MA in the history of photography from Birkbeck College, University of London, and an MA in Cultural Management from the University of Bologna. He is also a recipient of the UK government's Chevening Scholarship. So I will stop there, and Max can introduce more about his work. Over to you, Max.
Thanks so much. Thank you, Yuri. Hello, everyone. I'll just start by saying that I'm really honored to be a part of this conversation. I'm honored to be invited to participate in the MACFEST. I'm talking from a perspective of an outsider. I'm a Ukrainian living in the UK. I do know about photography, though, a little bit. And I'm really happy today to talk to Ali Al Sharji, who is a Omani-based photographer, an artist, and a poet. And he's been exhibited worldwide in US, in Europe, in UK, and he often reflects on the contemporary issues and heritage. And he's a conceptual artist, so he works with ideas, implementing them through different mediums, and he uses photography as his main medium. And I'm really curious to learn more myself about Ali's practice. I'm sure everyone will be interested to know this as well. And I would like to maybe pass over to Ali. But before, I'm just so curious to learn about the painting and your background, Ali. Can you tell us where you based now, where you talking from, and what's the painting behind you?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Ali Al Sharji from Oman. Hello from Oman. I'm based in Muscat, and I've been doing conceptual photography for the more than 20 years now. And what you're looking at behind me, it's so I went back to painting for the past 2 years now, and this is one of the pieces that took me around 2 years so far, and it's talking about my grandfather. I never met him, but there's so many stories about him, and people do write about him and about his stories, and I would have loved to meet him and get to understand the real character of him. And the story goes by from our village. We come from a place called Al Mujaza, which is in Sharqiya region in Oman. So his story starts from Al Mujaza to Mahout. From Mahout, he got into the boat that took him to Zanzibar. From Zanzibar to Burundi, and then that's where he established himself, and he got around 23 kids. One of them is my father, and he passed away there. Like the story of his death itself, it lived with me since a kid. I was always told about his story, about the way he died, and all of the things that he'd done in his life. So I was trying to capture all of his stories in one piece, and it's almost at 80%, I can say. So inshallah, once it's done, maybe I get the chance to participate in the next MACFEST and display this piece.
This is really interesting. We immediately started from the heritage and the history. Is this something that inspires you in your creative practice, in your photography, as it is in your painting?
100%. I don't know if you've been to the Middle East, but if you go to Dubai, you'll see skyscrapers. If you go to Saudi Arabia, you'll see a different type of modern architecture. But if you come to Oman, the architecture is very rich in heritage. Like even you can see a mall that looks that has that Omani touch to it, and it's actually inspiring. I believe wherever you live in, the nature of the place itself would inspire you to create your work.
Ali, I know that you prepared some kind of presentation. Would you like to start going through it, and maybe then I will have a question as you go? Or also, I would encourage everyone, our audience, to post questions in the chat so we can answer them. You can answer them as we go.
Sure. I will share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go through it. So you've got The Dance of Layla is one of my first artworks that I tried to exhibit with it, and it was taken back in 2012. It was displayed in multiple places, and the funny story about it, let me just show it to you first. So basically, it's a ballerina in abaya. So this was shot in Dubai in it's an arena. So basically, in the days that there's no events, the parking lot will be empty. So this is the spot that I went to. And right after getting the right shot, the security guards came in and they were about to confiscate the SD card. Why? Because we didn't have the permit to shoot in this place. So I always remind myself that what if that SD card was never there? Because this was my first piece that I would be very proud of, and it's the one that I displayed it abroad. So I always think, what if that SD card was confiscated and I never got the chance to showcase this piece? It has a special place in my heart. So basically, in 2017, I woke up one morning and part of the series, this was part of the series, and Alicia Keys, I woke up with calls and I see my friends calling me and telling me, hey, wake up, Alicia Keys posted your artwork. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm just a kid from Oman. Like, some people don't even know where Oman is. So I go into Instagram and I see it was Instagram and Twitter. I check out the page and I see Alicia Keys posted this piece. But the only issue about it is that a lot of people had negative comments about it, and it mainly came from the Arab world. Like, this is the thing about my work back then. It used to talk a lot about things that people couldn't talk about. One of the main reasons why I made this, it's to showcase that women can be anything that they want. They can be dancers, they can be businesswomen, they can be drivers, they can be astronauts, whatever it is. And Alicia Keys felt it, so that's why she posted it. But a lot of negative comments, and a lot of people, even on YouTube, the videos still exist there. I saw it a few days ago, and they were making assumptions about the piece, and that Alicia Keys is not a feminist, and so on and so forth. But only a few people would understand it, especially if you live in this area. Back then, there wasn't so much openness. I'm not talking about Oman. I'm talking about the Middle East in general. Oman was always open and supportive when it comes to women. And just to add, Oman had the first minister of education as a female. So that shows you how Oman supports women initiative and empowering women. In that area, in that time, back in the days, I'm sure a lot of people know that in some countries, like, women were not allowed to drive, women were not allowed to do so many things. So that used to irritate me, because my mother brought me into this life. I have sisters, I have friends, I have a wife, and without them, we're not here. So we should always support them. So after 2 days of posting this picture by Alicia Keys, she had to delete it because of the amount of negative comments that she was receiving. And I was like, you know what? Let me try my luck. Let me send her a message on Instagram. So from how nervous I was like, just a moment, let me open the conversation. I was like, hello, dear. So it's like an email. Hello, dear. I hope this message finds you well. I'm sorry it had to go that way. People tend to judge before understanding. I would like to send you the printed version of it, a sign of appreciation. I knew she would never respond. Straight after 2 minutes, maybe, she said, like, hi, I know I saw such power and defiance of oppression in that piece. What made you create it? What was your inspiration? So I was explaining myself, and she said, yes, that's what I thought. I felt that. I think if I used my words a bit clearer, that would have been received better. But that's the beauty of art. It's meant to provoke. I love your work. Once she said that, I was like, wow, like, that's it for me. Khalas, like, I'm done. So this is why I always remind myself, what if that security guard took that SD card, and would this piece reach people? And yeah, that's it about the dance of Layla.
Ali,
So the next one,
can I just quickly ask you to tell a few words about the piece? Like, what was the idea you had in mind? Why it was so
that's what
controversial?
Okay, so basically what I was mentioning, it has a story. It's in Arabic. I can even share the link with you at a later stage. And the main concept behind it is supporting. It's about being against oppression. Like women can always do whatever they would love to achieve in life, and yeah, as explained before, and that was the main purpose of it. Like you can see here, she's a ballerina in abaya, she's doing her ballet dance, and here she's just standing and showing that defiance.
Okay, thanks. And why do you think it was so controversial back then? Will it still be controversial if Alicia Keys would post it today?
I believe there would be some understanding, but again, like this is not the way of wearing abaya. By the way, it's called abaya and niqab. So this is not the way of wearing it with the legs out. But I'm sure it would make a buzz any time. But it had a different message. It's not against women. This is for the women.
Thanks.
So next we have Ma al Haya, which is the water of life. This was shot in 2014, and it was exhibited in Brighton. It was exhibited in Bahrain, and this is the piece that actually connected the whole previous piece, which is Raqsat Layla, because Swiss Beats is the one who started off by reposting it in his page, and this was inspired mainly from my favorite photographer, which is Hassan Hajjaj. He's a Moroccan photographer. I love this guy. Yeah, you should check out his work. I'm sure most of you know him. And yeah. By the way, back then there was no AI, so this literally took me about a week to complete. So now with AI, everything is like faster. You can just select the area and just add something. So this was in Bahrain, Loud Art. Loud Art is the platform that gave me the opportunity to display my work outside of Oman. It was the first platform, and from there I saw the potential, and that's when I started displaying in different places.
Ali, can you say a few words about the Water of Life piece? Yeah.
So basically, we all look for, what's the right word? We all look for immortality. We want to live forever. We want to look young forever. We want to laugh and enjoy life forever. And basically, like you should only get you should get this magic water and drink it. So some people were saying, "Oh, it's my Zamzam." I'm not sure if some of you know my Zamzam. It's the water. It's the holy water that you get in Mecca, in Saudi Arabia. It wasn't my Zamzam, but anyways, that's the concept of it.
Thank you. I'm in the position of an outsider, so I can allow myself to ask very basic questions.
Come again?
Well, I'm just saying that I've never been to Middle East, and
Okay.
I'm talking from a perspective of someone who is learning. So I'm curious about all the details of your photographs. I'm sure our audience, some people in our audience would be as well.
Okay. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome. So I'll go next. this was in Brighton. And this is the post that I was talking about, Swiss Beats. And then I will, wait just a moment, Lost in Between. This is a piece that was created in 2017. I think during that time, I was I was in between two worlds, where, because that's when I graduated. I was in a world of, should I continue as an artist or should I pursue my corporate work lifestyle? So this is when this piece came into place, and then it actually resonated with some people where you know, a lot of people can relate to it in a different way with whatever they're going through in their lives. So it was a two-piece. It was this piece, which is a man laying down, but you can see, let me just zoom in. It's like it's a dreamy world. Sorry. Oops, sorry. Just a moment. All right. And this is the second piece. So basically, this is how we bury, in Islam, this is how you bury people. You see this, the top piece, you see people are praying for the dead. And then I made it into, like, you know, because we believe that after life, after death, there is a life, which is either heaven or hell. So this piece was supposed to be a, if you, I'm not sure, Max, if you're aware of the pinball machine. You remember in the arcade? Are you familiar with that?
Well, I think I understand what you're referring to, but not too familiar.
Okay, so basically, this was supposed to be a game, the game of life, like Lost in Between. So you have the pinball machine, and like in human size, and you can actually play with it. It's life or death, basically.
Well, I see. Is it what you often do? You address or explore a very fundamental ideas or questions with, if I can say, in a rather playful way, using contemporary culture to talk about very fundamental ideas.
Yes, I could say that. You can say that.
Can I maybe ask you, as you go through your presentation, I'm very curious how these images are made technically. So they are photography, they are photographs used, but ultimately it's a digital image, and it's really
Yes.
interesting to know how you make them. What's your process?
So basically, I would start off by sketching my work, and then I would try to find the right people, the right models, the right location. So if you see what's real here, it's only the guys. They were standing in a rocky place, and then it took me about a month. Keeping in mind this was back in 2017. This was done by on Photoshop, and it took me about a month time to complete it. So I took the picture of the guys and the dead guy. It was, I remember it was a mannequin that we covered with keffin. We call it keffin. If you see this white sheet, and then I took a picture of the elevators closed, and then my friend was inside, and the elevator was open, and then that's how I created it. It was through Photoshop, basically. And the way I do my work, basically, I would measure it before going out and taking the picture. Like, I always measure my work out of 100%. Out of 100%, I would need, for example, for this piece, I would need only 10% photography, the remaining Photoshop. While on this picture, it was 40%, sorry, 60% photography, and the remaining was Photoshop. Because the main area that I wanted to highlight was this area, while this piece, it's the whole piece that needs to be worked at. I think I actually have a printed version, just a moment. Can you see my, can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the one.
It's again what you do. You take some ideas from modern life and something very ordinary like a lift or an elevator, or on the next image is just a person sleeping, and you collide them with something from a different world in your digital images.
Somehow, yeah.
What do you think would be the ultimate goal of your images? Are you trying to say something to people, or you want it's like call to action, it's a call to reflect on these ideas? How do you see how you operate within this cultural context?
Honestly, like, photography is a way of communication for me. I'm not that good when it comes to like presentations and coming on webinars and talk. Like, I'm a shy person. Like, this is how I am. But I started off as a poet before being a photographer, before being an artist. I used to be a poet, and I couldn't share whatever I wrote with anyone. So that's when I found photography. Like, you can, as they say, you can say it, you can say 1,000 words with a single picture. So in order for me to create such piece, it's not like I'm trying to get validation from others or trying to keep my ideas stuck for this image. Like, I don't want people to come and read about my images and they have a certain understanding about it. I want them to live it. If they're going through something in life, I want them to connect with it. If they don't connect with it, it's fine. Like, it's just me trying to express whatever I wrote. So literally, I would write, I would sketch, and then I would do the photography or painting, whatever it is.
Am I right in thinking that in your approach to photography, it's not a traditional straight photography, it's not documentary photography? You make staged images, you use them as the material for your digital images. Do you approach photography and visual arts in a way that you approach poetry, like using words, putting them in sentences in order to tell a story? Is there a similarity in your approaches? Do these two totally different, but in a way also similar mediums, poetry and photography, do they complement each other? Do you work with them in a similar way?
It actually does, because you know, when you try to like let's say, for example, you're trying to praise a lover in your poem, you would try to you will try to find the right words to explain, or to, I don't know the right word, but to express your feeling about that person, but giving it like different examples. So when you come to photography, you would do one piece, and that piece would in another line, it would tell you like what's the next thing that should come next to that person. That person should stand in a place and they should hold a rose, for example, and they're, I don't know, they're standing in front of a train, whatever it is. Like the words would explain how I should continue my journey with the piece itself. I would get stuck sometimes, like with photography, I would get stuck, like I wouldn't know what to do. That's why, like, if you recall, I was mentioning that sometimes those pieces take long. Like this one, it took a month. I remember, like, I was stuck. I didn't know what to do. So I was like, you know what? Let me rewrite the poem. Maybe I did not complement it correctly. So that's when it made more sense. Because in the beginning, it was only the top piece. It was only the top part without the whatever you're seeing down.
Okay, thank you. Cheers.
And talking about not a traditional way of doing photography, I was doing this this type of work without knowing what's it called. Like I would just do it without any meaning. And when I went to Loud Art, that's when I was told, oh, you're doing conceptual photography. I was like, interesting, what's that? That's when I came to understand more about it. You know, being in a place where you're not exposed to, like we're exposed to certain type of arts. And I've never heard of conceptual photography before, conceptual art. So that's when I came to do my research, when I came to understand like whatever I'm doing, it's called conceptual photography. So I came to know about it later, like not in the beginning of my journey.
Did you study photography? Did you study design? How you managed to master the Photoshop to use it in this way so you can actually use it as your language?
So basically, my dad was a photographer from a very young age, and cameras were always at home. So I always had access to the camera, and I always seen that a picture is taken like in a moment and then that's it. Like what's next? I always ask myself, what's next? Like what more can you do to an image? And I started off with I remember there were like editing apps long time ago, like back in 2007, 8, I think, something similar to Canva. It was like the free version of Photoshop. And it used to do like very basic and minimal editing. And that's when I started learning. I was like, okay, this is nice. I started taking more pictures and trying to like turn them into like, I used to take normal pictures and try to turn them into like something very extreme. And then Photoshop came later, and that's when I came to understand about it. So with time, I came to learn how to use Photoshop.
Okay, I see. Now it's obviously AI era, and I personally don't think that conversation about AI is very relevant to the conversation about photography because in its essence, these are absolutely different mediums. But when it comes to photography as a material to later be used in the digital manipulated altered images, which is ultimately the way you used photography, do you think, well, first question, do you still practice, do you still do this type of images, or do you feel this type of images are threatened in a way because of AI, because it's so easy to create whatever image you want today?
Honestly speaking, like it's been a while since I've done conceptual photography. I've reached a point where I see with AI, like you can create an image in a second. Like I'm not against it. I use AI myself. Like today, for example, tomorrow is my son's birthday, fifth birthday, and my wife is doing, you know, the giveaways, and she told me she needs like a poster. I went on ChatGPT and it gave me within 2 minutes. So I have nothing against AI, but I know for a fact, like, I enjoyed my time doing this. It gave me more experience. And if tomorrow the internet is no longer there, if you don't have access to the internet, I know for a fact, like, this type of work wouldn't be designed through AI. So as an experience, it was beautiful. Nowadays, like, I do more of painting, and yeah.
Okay. Ali, I think I interrupted your presentation. I know you have some images to show. Olympics, for example, I really like this series, and From Home to Home. Can you maybe continue and tell us a bit more about your other work?
Sure. So basically, back in 2017, I got invited to display my work in the 50th anniversary of the Black Panther Party. It was in New York, and I was thinking about it, like, okay, I'm Ali Sharji from Muscat, Oman. Like, how does the Black Panther Party affect me? Like, how can I display my work there and be part of it, you know? So I thought about it because in the beginning, remember I told you the story about my grandfather where he left from Al-Mijaza, Sharqiyya to Zanzibar and then to Burundi. And my grandfather being there, you know, he got married to 4 women. And like, for me, I'm dark skinned. I'm considered dark skinned in Oman. So I used to get bullied when I was a kid. I used to get called names and all of those things. It's not nice. And I was like, okay, so the Black Panther Party, I think, like, I have something to add, but in my own culture. So that's when I displayed From Home to Home. So basically, From Home to Home, if you go on Google, just type out the Arab massacre. This was in 1972 or 1964 in Zanzibar. This is when the Omanis that lived there. By the way, for those who don't know about Oman and Zanzibar, the relationship between them, Zanzibar, back in the days, it used to be part of Oman. It used to be the capital of Oman. So Zanzibar is in East Africa, and it used to be the capital of Oman because of the trades and all of those things. And Omanis lived there for a good decade. And every 10 people that you would know in Oman, they have families that live there and or still living there. And in 1964, there was, without mentioning names, a guy ordered for all the Muslims and Omani Muslims to be wiped, to be killed, basically. And if you go on YouTube, there's videos that was shot of the Omanis trying to escape. They were killed on the road. They were killed in the beach. They were trying to swim. Imagine if you've been to Zanzibar and the mainland Tanzania, it would take you with the boat. It would take you around 3 hours, 2 hours. Imagine swimming there. So if you see the video, you would see people trying to escape from the beach. Like, how would you even swim all of that distance? But when you are in danger, you will do whatever you want, whatever you can to stay alive. And so basically, it's like they were trying to escape from home to another home. So that's why I called it From Home to Home. Yeah. And it was displayed in different places, as I mentioned, in Oman. It's still displayed in Stall Gallery. You can see it there. And it was in New York as well. And hopefully, inshallah, maybe somewhere else as well. I was actually planning to put this piece as part of my grandfather's piece and continue the whole journey of it.
it's a very powerful images, and I read about the story you're describing, and obviously it's a very tragic story, but it also has its very complex historical context, right? It's these conversations which we are now very often engage in, conversations about decolonial approaches to history, to art. Do you think this piece is this is how you engage in decolonial discourse? You talk about basically very complex history.
Yeah, it's just that it's a piece where I need to be very careful where I display it because of the cultural history behind it. And I remember trying to display it in, like, GQ tried to approach me for this piece, and the whole conversation changed to talk about a different agenda. And that's when I was like, no, this talks about a specific thing and one thing only, which is from home to home.
Well, you probably expect it, right? It's a very difficult issue. Yeah, sorry.
It's a very sensitive topic to talk to those people that actually lived in this era. I know some people, like some old people that still living, alhamdulillah. You can go and sit down with them. They will tell you the stories on like how it happened, how quickly it happened, how they managed to escape. It's just insane. Like one day you are living lavishly, and the next day, like, you're running for your life.
Would you like to talk about the next series? Or maybe after you finish, then we have some questions in the chat, but I will read them probably after you finish the presentation.
All right. So we've got the Olympics. This was created in 2018 for CNN, a program called Inside the Middle East. It was displayed in the community exhibition, which was made by me and a couple of artists from Oman. And the main purpose of it was, always we have, when we want to do something, we always say, I can't because of 1, 2, 3. Oh, I cannot do it today because I'm busy with something. Like, we always put this wall in front of us, and what if tomorrow never comes? Like, we're not promised tomorrow, but we're here today. We should be grateful and just stand up, wake up, and go do whatever you're supposed to do. So that's why I called it the Olympics. It's about running. It's about accomplishing. It's about crossing those walls. So it's a 3-piece. The third piece, sorry, I didn't put it here. I didn't display it here, but you can find it on my Instagram. My Instagram, by the way, it's called Ali.Al-Sharji, ALI.ALSHARJI. You can find my piece there. And yeah, you can see the guy like on the left side with the, what do you call it? With the stick trying to like cross.
It's a pole, yeah.
Sorry?
He's doing a pole vault, right?
Exactly. And you can see on the right side, it was a lucky moment for me. I was in Nakhal. By the way, all of these images were taken and then I combined them together. So the one on the right side, you see the guy running, that was real. Like, I saw him running and I just shot the image and boom, this is what happened.
It's a sense of optimism, maybe because of the colors, because of this, in a way, I don't know, heavenly aesthetics to these images. Is it optimistic, your art? Is it what you're trying to say with these images about, I don't know, transitioning over something which is impossible?
Somehow, It's like encouraging people to, like, just do it,
It's a very broad and generic idea. Do you have well, it's always due to many circumstances, right? You cannot say everything is possible because you can think this way, it's very optimistic, but there are many real life conditions which sometimes make people's lives difficult.
Exactly.
You're trying to give them this hope of everything's possible.
I think like in that specific time, I think like I was in a good place in my life, and I was very optimistic, and I'm still optimistic. I'm still an optimistic person, and I think that's the main reason why this piece came into place, and what drove it was the CNN interview. Like, it actually happened during the shoot. Like, when they came to interview me, this is when this whole thing started. Like, if you go on, like, this is the link. I would even share it. I can share it in the, what's it called, in the chat. You can see the whole process was documented in this piece.
It would be nice if you share it. I think our audience would like to know more about your work with this link.
Will do. And that's it.
Well, thanks very much. This is really, really interesting. I just, when we talked about the last piece and I said about the sense of optimism in your work, do you feel optimistic today? Because obviously the state of the world is quite uncertain, let's say, and obviously with the US-Israeli war on Iran, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Palestine. So we live in the times of major crisis. Do you do art today? And if yes, what concerns you? Are you still optimistic, or it's much more troubled time today?
I think life is short, and whatever happens in the world, like, we should always pray for those people, and always try to support them as much as we can. Like, okay, I cannot go to war and help my brothers and so on and so forth, but you can always donate, you can always send some clothes, you can always do something to make you feel happy in a certain way, that you've contributed to something. Like, for example, I can see that this is going a bit political, so like, for example, boycotting. This is the simplest thing that you can do. A lot of people say, why boycott? It won't work. But again, tomorrow when I die, when I meet my creator, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will ask me, what did you do to contribute? At least I will have something small that I've shared. So this is how I'll be content with myself. And when it comes to putting it in my artworks, like, when it actually hurt me the most is when the whole Palestine thing happened 2 years ago. That, like, broke me down. I even made a couple of pieces, and this one, for example, let me just show. So I even wrote in the back, it's a song, it's a Bob Marley song. He says, if you are a big tree, we are the small axe. We're going to chop you down. We're going to chop you down. So yeah, like, I try as much as I can not to, like, entertain the situations that are happening. in the back end, you try to do whatever you can and you pray for them, and may Allah be with them, inshallah.
That's a great answer. Maybe I read a few questions from the chat. There's a question from Mabashir Habibi to everyone, and he asks, don't you think that shoot of Alicia Keys will show art as an insult against Islamic values, hijab? Do you think Islam has restricted women's rights by hijab, and they can give their right by getting out of it? It mostly expresses this message.
Honestly, sorry, what's the name? The name of the
Mobashir.
Mobashir. Honestly speaking, I agree with you, because in the end of the day, you would follow people, and whatever they tell you to do, you would not anything, but some of the things. For example, you're following your favorite doctor or your favorite fitness instructor. They would tell you, don't drink. Actually, no, they'll tell you, wake up at 3 a.m. for 5 minutes and drink a whole glass of water. You would do it because your favorite fitness instructor told you that, and you will eventually look like him, for example. So the thing is, like, I've seen a lot of people where they get so influenced by their idols, and I actually believe, like, I actually understand what you're trying to say there, but yeah, I think what you said is right. It's just that back then, like, when I created this image, I was still young myself, and when you're young, you're rebellious, you wanna, power for the people and all of that. So
thanks, Ali. Another question is from Hanane. She says, well done, Ali. Your work often reflects strong support to women. And she asks, how important is Oman heritage in your photography?
oh, very, very. You can go anywhere in the world. If you come to Oman, you would feel something. It's a lot of people, because see, in photography, through photography, I met so many people from different worlds, from different parts of the world, and they came to Oman to shoot videos and to shoot content and all of those things. The first thing that they would say, oh wow, the mountains. And trust me, like, once you're in Oman, you would understand. We have mountains everywhere, and the main reason why it's called Muscat, it's because it falls in between mountains. So even when I bought my house, I made sure that my house has the view of the mountain. Like, literally, that's my view every day, and it gives you that powerful feel of of belonging. And I just love my country. I invite you all to come to my country, to Oman, and please make sure you contact me, and I'll make sure you have the best time of your life.
Well, I would love to go. Hopefully, I will do.
There's a guest room in my house. You're welcome.
Thanks, Yarli. Another question from Hanane was, what is it about the work of the Moroccan photographer Hassan Hajjaj that you particularly love?
The colors, literally the colors. It stands out. He would use I don't know how to say it in English, because we only have it's an Arabic thing where it's like a mat. It's basically a mat, but it has so many colors, and that's what he uses as a prop for his background. Like, as soon as you see the image, you would know it's him.
Mm-hmm. This is what inspired you to use the similar background in this picture you've made, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. There's a question from Emma. I'm a hijab wearer and would say that the dance of Laila could be perceived to be an objectification of the female form, which is contrary to the purpose of hijab, so might well be taken negatively. Do you
I
see this
agree.
problematics? Yeah.
I agree. I agree with her. Again, I have to remind you guys that I've done this when I was like back in 2012. I was still young, rebellious, and I was exploring different types of arts, different types of photography. So if you tell me, is this acceptable? It's not acceptable. Not in my religion. No, it's not acceptable.
I love how honest you are, Ali. I think everyone appreciates it because we all change, right? Our practice changes, and things you've been doing 10 years ago maybe not necessarily exactly correspond to the ideas you have today. So I think it's interesting to see this dynamic and evolvement of your practice. You now only make paintings, or you do photography still?
I do mainly documentary photography. I do videos. I do videography, filmmaking, like music videos and advertisements for for corporates, and yeah, like I have even my cameras over there, the 35 mm. I usually carry them everywhere I go. I just try to capture moments. That's all.
Well, I think it's one of the ultimate ideas behind photography, to capture moments, right? So I think it's a great thing to do. It's a very enjoyable thing. So I'm happy you're still involved with photography. And I don't know, I don't have any more questions to you, and I can't see any new questions in the chat. So maybe if you wanted to say something else.
Max, there is one question in the QA portal. It says, have you discarded designed photos because it didn't turn out the way you wanted? Or do you just keep working until it bends to your will? So it's about discarding photos and designs if you're not happy with them. Ali.
Not really. Like, I wouldn't say that like I stopped completely. It's just that, you know, sometimes you would have this piece of shirt and you love this shirt, but right now, like it's been 10 years and it's ripped in different places. Like, you know, sometimes you need to learn when to let go. And I always believe in something. If you are a great artist, a great musician, a great boxer, fighter, whatever it is, you reach to a certain point and you made sure that you've done enough, and right now you just want to explore something else because you feel like you can't give it more because like it's like you reached the like the glass has like became full. You want to try different forms. Like I want to live a life where when I reach a certain age, I can say that I've done photography, I've done painting, I've done this, I've done that, I've done music, I've done poetry. I've tried different things. Like this is something that I even want to teach my kids. Like with my son, for example, I would teach him painting, but in the same time, I would teach him how to fight. I would take him to different classes. Like I want him to learn different things and see what he wants to continue with. And then from there, he can take his own decisions. But again, like I don't think because I didn't like where I reached. No, I loved where I reached. And it's time for me to explore different ways. Like honestly speaking, with painting, it's even, it's much easier because whatever you have, because I usually sketch my work. So right now, where instead of me sketching in a notebook, I would sketch it on the painting, on the canvas itself. So I love it. I fell in love with painting, honestly speaking.
It's again a very optimistic answer, Ali. There's another question from Emma. Do you have any advice for budding conceptual photographers?
For what? Sorry?
Do you have an advice for conceptual photographers?
Honestly, I needed advice myself. Like, I don't know, like with conceptual photography, just don't be scared. Like, just one advice, don't expect to get praised by people, or you're posting it on social media and you're not getting enough likes and followers and so on. Those are all materialistic things. Like, trust me, just do what your heart tells you to do.
Thank you, Ali. Well, I think it brings us to an end to our conversation. Thanks so much for sharing your work and your ideas and answering the questions. It's been my pleasure
Thank
to
you so much.
talk to you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. And again, I invite everyone to visit Oman. You guys are more than welcome. You will love it. Go on YouTube, search Oman, and you will fall in love. And if you guys want to get in touch, you want to stay connected, my Instagram is ali.alsharji, which is ali.alsharji, and that's on Instagram. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Ali. Thanks, everyone.
Yalla, ma'a
Thank
salama.
Thank you, Max, for wonderful hosting. And Ali, thanks so much for showing your works. We really appreciate that you shared the works from years ago. I absolutely love your photography, love the concepts. I do align with what you were talking about, being rebellious and stuff like that. Totally understand that. And I hope one day you will revisit that in your other medium, whatever you choose to use. It would be really interesting to see that. And for our audience, if we have any photographers in the audience, we've got, for those based in the UK, we've got MACFEST Muslim Arts Awards competition open now until 15th of June. You can submit your works in the following categories: drawing or painting or photography or calligraphy. And you can do that. The first stage is a digital stage. You send a photo of your work through the MACFEST website. So please take a look and submit your works. And those of you who are able to join the award ceremony and find out who the winners are this year, we are releasing only 20 tickets to the public, also on Eventbrite. And if you would like to join us again on Zoom, we've got a few events coming up. Sunday, 19th of April, same time on Zoom. We've got children's books with Nadine Kadan. Then we've got Islamophobia and Muslims in the media. A great discussion. We've got this panel every year. That's going to be on Saturday, 25th of April, same time. And then on Sunday, 26th, we've got Islamic art in early modern Italy. All tickets you can book on Eventbrite. So thank you again.
Thank you, Katarzyna. Thank you, Max and Ali, for a brilliant conversation. We really loved hosting you and loved your honesty and loved your talent, Ali. And thank you for plugging your country so well. Do you know we have been to Oman, MACFEST Heritage Tour, a group of us last year, and we had a brilliant time. Wonderful country. And inshallah, I'll be in touch with you. I've just discovered you're a poet as well. So speak soon. Okay, everybody, thank you to all our amazing attendees from Australia, from America, from Germany, everywhere for giving up sharing your Sunday, Easter Sunday with us. If you're celebrating Easter, happy Easter to all our Christian friends and followers. And Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullah barakatuhu, and goodbye.
Record